That's right, baby. We're back. Welcome back in, everyone. I really hope your week is off to a great start, as always. I must say, guys, things are starting to get pretty busy over on my side. I'm being 100% honest. This is that time of the year where birthdays, holidays, hobbies, and just about everything else get cranked to the max. Whether it's fantasy football, my family's all about the footy season, having a good time. But again, the aforementioned birthdays. I mean, it can be an overwhelming time with so much going on. And I'm sure you guys have actually been seeing a little bit of it on the channel firsthand. I mean, I recently launched that trailer, and we've been getting updates on the likes of Resident Evil, Gears of War, and then the upcoming in October will be Alan Wake 2. Despite so much gameplay gameplay going on, rather, I have been trying to ensure I make time to have our little gaming chats, because in a lot of ways they allow me a sense of perspective on what the subject matter in question may be, and give me an opportunity to kind of reflect on some of the topics that I've seen and have that subtle conversation with you guys. So I hope you are settled in. Whether you got a beer, you got some water, you got some dinner maybe, I really hope you're just relaxed, ready to have a little chat. And of course, as you're figuring out from the thumbnail, our subject matter is going to actually be two topics. Two topics I've noticed a lot of, but it's a very real conversation I see, again, across multiple platforms, and I think that they're good topics to kind of go over. And hey, you know, if you have an opinion on either, that's what that comment section is for, guys. I want to hear from you. Guys, we all have the library. I talk about it every time we chat about anything gaming. But we also, as adults or teenagers who might be in school, anything like that, we all, as people, have to effectively manage time. That's the one thing we wish we had an infinite amount of, but man, we just don't. Now, whether it's being taken by other hobbies, I mentioned football, didn't I? Or by required functions, of course, the old 9 to 5, heading to work or heading to school. Time is the one thing that I'm sure we all find ourselves lacking in our day-to-day. Come on now, I'm sure you guys can relate. Sometimes you wake up with just enough time to get ready for your day, spend an elongated part of your day, like a good chunk of it, at work, doing your duties and everything like that, leaving only with really a few precious hours in the later part of your day that aren't taken up by dinner or home chores, of course, right? As I only bring it up because we all have this going on. And oftentimes it's way too easy to just call it an early night and catch up on some sleep. Of course, doom scroll, which you guys know firsthand. I've been trying to be a lot better about not being on my phone. Or honestly, to just do something completely different that, you know, might be a little more entertaining after a hard day's work than taking the time to play a game. Now, I feel like this kind of situation, this example I just gave, it really impacts new games. And I say that because we as players, we're not familiar with the mechanics yet. We're not invested in the characters. We're not familiar with the narrative or anything like that. Or we're not, it's all new. It's brand new. When the only time we might have available to us is when we're already tired. Now we have to start figuring out something, getting these nuances. Say you put it off for a week and then you come back to it. Oh, what have I forgot? I focus on this largely because I've experienced it recently. You know, I have my 9 to 5. It's been very busy lately. I've been working to train a colleague. I've been taking on new responsibilities. And guys, regardless of the positive blazing or countless recommendations, I have found my experience in my second attempt now at Red Dead Redemption 2 has been less than ideal. Now, this isn't going to be a session filled with me just bashing the game or any kind of verbal abuse or dissing on its player base or anything like that. I actually do see the appeal to the game. The graphic immersion is definitely there. And if you're into the Wild West, I mean, guys, this ticks every box. If you're coming from Rockstar's general formula, this should tick every box. There's a lot to love about this game. I will say I don't personally think I'm broken in my assessment just now, or with my experience with the game. But what I do know is, after my second round, it's just not for me. And that is what leads me to my first point of this video. Guys, I'm dropping Red Dead Redemption 2. And it is completely fine to do so. 100 line. Guys, we have so many games to try, and I know the last thing we want to consider is that some of the ones we already have in our library may not be for us. But we also have to understand that games are there. Gaming in general is a full-on expansive art form. It's a colossal medium, and it's designed for many different audiences. A lot like movies, really. But just like movies, that also means that not everyone is going to resonate with every person. I know you guys have been to a movie before where you're like, oh man, that just didn't work. That sucked. You can do that with games too. Guys, it's alright to let go of a game if it isn't keeping you engaged. Now, I know you may hear me say this, or you might hear other videos for that matter say it. And, you know, once you've heard it, you just file it on there. Man, whatever. Well, I'm gonna keep trying. I just wanted to make sure that there is a clear understanding for you, for me, and for anyone else listening. Guys, even if we own a bunch of them, our gaming experience is meant to serve us, but it's also meant to be entertaining. This shouldn't be a boring slog where one day you might reach that fabled, oh, if you can just reach this point, or if you defeat this boss, or overcome this obstacle. Any one of those little examples or sections that you've heard so much about. There should be something that's enough to grip your interest early on without honestly feeling like you're pulling teeth. Now, having said that, guys, I do also want to touch on a little bit of a stigma I've noticed floating around lately. And it's one I don't entirely understand, but I definitely wanted to touch on it. And it is the stigma of replaying games. And I want to focus on that because the focal point of our chat does surround the concept of time. But I've seen and heard a lot of conversations just floating around where the replay experience does nothing but hinder your progress. It's a detriment to doing things like clearing out your backlog, where revisiting a game almost deliberately wastes your time if you have such a goal like clearing a library. And you know what? I could say that is 100% correct. If your only goal is to complete every game in your library, then yes, taking the time to replay a game, it works. It's a giant problem, let's just say, because games take time. That'll work largely against you because, hey, guys, We're not just hopping into the time well and getting a whole bunch back, are we? Now, that being said, if your goal is more than just completing that ever-growing library of games that I personally don't think should be considered such a strain on you, by the way, then replaying a game should always be something you're comfortable with doing. Guys, we're creatures of habit and we're creatures of familiarity. And I can't even begin to tell you how many replays I've had with some of the coolest games ever. As we speak, guys, I'm replaying the entire mainline Resident Evil games. Even with the remakes thrown in. Like, these are games I've experienced 100 times over. So I guess the question becomes, why is it not a stress? Why is it not a strain to me? Why am I okay to do this? I think in a lot of ways, guys, it's my perception. You know, I view my library not as something to be overcome, but as something I can visit to experience and chronicle and enjoy. Guys, across all of my platforms, I'm sure I have 1,000 games, if not potentially more. I came to terms with the fact that I wasn't going to experience or complete all of them a long time ago. Because of this, I found it a lot easier to be able to let a game go when it's not working well for me. But I also take time to go back and experience some of the greats that have shaped the type of gamer that I am today. Whether I'm playing Guitar Hero in that desperate hope to one day finish through the Fire and Flames. I know, guys. I will do it. It's going to be so cool when I do. Or, as I mentioned before, starting the incredible, crazy, giant re-experience of Resident Evil, the mainline series. Or, well, you guys know, sometimes I just like to grab the Steam Deck for a little while and spend some quality time playing Legend of Legaia, one of my favorite JRPGs. There isn't a guilty feeling to be had in that experience, in any of those scenarios. I really do hope this is the same for you, and guys, if it isn't, just take a breath. Take a breath and assess the situation. Would having your library complete, when your backlog cleared, everything out, would that be such a great thing? Would it be so great a thing that it has to emotionally impact your perception of it? That it has to make you feel stressed out and depressed that that goal hasn't been met? I'm not entirely sure. And while you evaluate that, if you're comfortable with it, while you think about those topics, I guess, go back and try experiencing one of your old favorites. Go back and play that old Zelda game, or Mass Effect, or Skyrim. Guys, see if the experience still makes you happy. Because honestly, if it does, nothing else matters. Well, guys, that's all I have for today. But hey, let me know if you have had to drop a game or you've been thinking about maybe going back to a previous experience. Remember to have a great week, enjoy yourself, and keep things 100 line. Take care.